Hello, my name is Lauren Smith. I'm a graduate research assistant at the University of Georgia studying crop and soil science. Today I'm going to be talking to you about the nutritional effects of toxic tall fescue. Tall fescue is a cool season perennial grass that is commonly used throughout the eastern United States. It's a very durable forage because of its tolerance to harsh weather conditions. It is also very grazing tolerant. It is often referred to as a long-term perennial, and it's commonly known for fescue toxicity. These are graphs showing tall fescue establishment. The first graph is showing the growth patterns of tall fescue, and the second graph is showing how it is commonly grown in the eastern United States, which is referred to as the transition zone. Tall fescue can be infected with an endophyte. This endophyte is a fungus that grows between the cell walls. Because it's within the cell walls, it is not visible externally and can only be detected if it has endophyte infected or endophyte free by a lab examination. The tall fescue endophyte is a fungal organism that is related to ergot. The infected plants are produced through the seeds. Therefore, the seeds can be spread through infected hay or through cattle that have recently grazed infected tall fescue. The endophyte itself is not toxic to the plant. It actually helps the plant and is what causes the plant to be winter, drought, and insect tolerant. The effects of the endophyte are shown within the animals that graze it. The toxin levels in the plant are highest in the seed heads, then in the stem and the sheath, and then in the leaf blades. It can be increased with increased nitrogen application. They're often highest in the spring and fall, and they're increased under drought conditions. Fescue toxicosis has three common syndromes. The first is fescue foot. Fescue foot causes high respiration rates, vasoconstriction of extremities, tenderness of legs, and mainly occurs in the winter months. The first photo on the top is a picture of fescue foot. The next is bovine fat necrosis. Hard masses of fat occur in the adipose tissue, primarily in the abdominal cavity. Necrotic fat lesions are most common in the fat surrounding the intestinal tract and can go all the way to the rectum. This would cause upset digestion and difficulty birthing. Fescue toxicosis is the most common. It causes poor animal gains, low conception rates, intolerance to heat, and failure to shed winter coat. This is the most economically important. This slide shows a photo of two steers, one that is tolerant to tall fescue and one that is more susceptible. You can see that the one that is more susceptible still has its thick coat, whereas the one that is tolerant has the slick coat. Now people can genetically select for toxic fescue tolerance. The result of fescue toxicosis: reduce reproductive abilities, reduce calf weight gains, reduce milk production, depresses feed intake, and increase body temperature in the summer. Conception rates of beef cows, first calf heifers especially, may be reduced often up to 50% or less. Research at the University of Tennessee and Clemson University has shown that breeding soundness of bulls is often affected when grazing tall fescue. Calf weight gains are decreased as a result of reduction of milk production and just the consumption of toxic tall fescue. Milk production can be reduced by 30% or more. It is estimated that the loss in income due to the endophyte is over $1 billion per year. This table, it shows a study that was done by the University of Missouri Extension showing the average daily gain of steers in different locations fed a highly infected tall fescue compared to a lower infected tall fescue. Gains were typically around 1.5 to 2 pounds on the low infected as compared to 1 pound or less in the highly infected tall fescue. This graph shows that as there is an increase in alkaloids, there is a decrease in average daily gain. So now we're going to be talking about how these toxins affect the rumen. The most common toxin in the infected tall fescue is ergovaline. However, in order to be a toxin, it must enter the bloodstream. But ergovaline is not found within the rumen fluid. So how can it be transported through the rumen wall and into the bloodstream? High concentrations of lysergic acid are found in the rumen fluid of cattle consuming tall fescue. And it is known that ergovaline can be degraded into lysergic acid, which is accessible to the microorganisms within the rumen. However, the mechanisms of how it actually enters the bloodstream is still unknown. If you do have infected tall fescue pastures, adding other forages, commonly legumes, will dilute the amount of toxins that are available to your cattle and decrease the likelihood of fescue toxicity in your herd. Planting an endophyte-free fescue is another option. However, these plants do not have the endophyte, therefore it loses the highly desirable traits. The most effective and expensive would be to plant a novel endophyte type tall fescue. This plant still has the benefits of the endophyte, but does not cause harm to your cattle. In conclusion, without proper management, tall fescue can be very harmful to your herd and your wallet, from decreased average daily gains and weaning weights. While there are mitigation strategies to decrease toxin levels available to your cattle, a lot is still unknown about how the endophyte gets from the rumen into the blood system. This would be a great area of concentration for future research. Thank you for listening, and feel free to contact me at laurensmith@uga.edu if you have any questions. Thank you.